Namaste Gurukulians, how are you students? Hope you will be fine. Today we will study class 12th business studies and as you know that chapter 7.3 leadership is going on. So we will continue the same chapter and this is the second and last video of this chapter. So in leadership we are discussing leadership styles. First style, autocratic leadership style we have discussed. So in autocratic leadership style, all the decisions are taken by a single person. Manager has no belief in his subordinates. He never asks for any suggestion. Whatever he says, whatever he done, that is final. So all the decisions are taken by the single person itself. Now, the second leadership style is democratic leadership style. Democratic style or democratic leadership style. So this democratic leadership style can be explained with the help of a chart. For example, there are four subordinates A, B, C and D, and their leader is L. So there is free flow communication between all the persons, including leader as well as followers. Communication is free flow. So this is democratic leadership style where the leader is L and he always takes decisions by consulting with his subordinates. He always remain in contract with A, B, C and D. He give more powers, more authorities to the subordinates. The subordinates are getting more freedom while taking their decisions. So in this way, the democratic leadership style is that style where the management is done in a democratic way. A manager, before taking any decision, consult with his subordinates. He invites for the suggestions and he always give due weightage for good suggestions, and the suggestions of the subordinates are also implemented. So in this way, in democratic leadership style, every decision is taken by the leader, by the manager after due consultation with the subordinates. So more weightage, more authority is given to the subordinates. So this is opposite to the autocratic leadership style. So we will discuss this features of democratic leadership style. तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट ये टॉपिक है फीचर्स. नंबर 1, cooperative relations. The relations between leader and the followers. अब जो मैनेजर है और उसके जो subordinates हैं, always cooperative, because he invites suggestion, he asks before time, before doing any activity. So definitely if their suggestions are welcomed, they are given more chances. So they will cooperate with the manager. So there will be more cooperation between seniors and subordinates. And second feature is belief in employees. In democratic leadership style, the manager always believe in his subordinates, in his employees. That's why he consult with them. He always ask suggestions from them. And every decision is taken with due consultation with the subordinates, because he believes in his subordinates, in employees. And one more feature is open communication. In democratic leadership style, the communication is free flow. Everyone is free to communicate with any person. Here L is communicating with all for A, B, C, D. A is also communicating with B, with L, with C, and even through the leader to D. So here communication is free flow. So these are the features. Now advantages of democratic leadership style. One is high morale. The morale of subordinates is high in democratic leadership style, because they are given more importance, more weightage is given to the subordinates. तो this will increase their confidence and their morale, उनका जो मनोबल है वो हमेशा हाई होगा. और second advantage is creation of more efficiency and productivity. Creation of more efficiency and creativity. When the subordinates are given chances to show their talent, they are given more powers, they are given more freedom, definitely their efficiency level will be increased. They will work in their own way. They will adopt their own methods. This also brings a feeling of creativity among the subordinates. They always try to do something new. They will always try to do a work in innovative way. So by adopting the democratic leadership style, the efficiency and creativity level of the employees will also increase. Next is decrease in workloads. Decrease in workload of managers. In first leadership style, that was autocratic leadership style, the managers were overloaded, overburdened, because when all the decisions are taken by the manager itself, he will not extra time to see other matters. He will always remain busy. But in democratic leadership style, the authorities, more powers are given to the subordinates. The manager will have spare time, so he can use this spare time in taking other important decisions relating to expansion and growth of business. So definitely the democratic leadership style reduces the workload for the managers, and this reduced workload, due to this, the managers can concentrate on key matters. So these are the advantages, and next is limitations also. Yeah, disadvantages. Number one is requirement of educated subordinates. When democratic leadership style is adopted, there is more requirement of educated subordinates. When followers are not educated, they are illiterate, then they cannot handle the situation, they cannot take decisions. This is the limitation. When the subordinates are less educated, this style cannot be adopted. And one more limitation is delay in decisions. In democratic leadership style, every decision is taken by the manager after due consultation with the subordinates. He always call them, he always consult them, he take advice from his subordinates, then he take decisions. So in this process, sometime it makes delay. In business, many times we have to take decisions very quickly, otherwise some profitable opportunity may slip from the hands. So that's why this is the limitation, that decisions cannot be taken quickly. And one more advantage is lack of responsibility in managers. When authorities and powers are delegated to the subordinates, तो managers sometimes run away from their responsibility. अब जो managers हैं वो अपनी जिम्मेदारी से भागते हैं. In case of adverse results, when our objectives are not achieved, then manager fixes the responsibility on their subordinates. They try to escape themselves, that they have assigned the responsibility to the subordinates and they don't complete the job. That's why they are not responsible. So in this situation, they always try to transfer the responsibility on their subordinates. तो जो मैनेजर्स हैं वो अपनी जिम्मेदारी नहीं समझते, उससे दूर भागते हैं. तो ये इसकी लिमिटेशंस हैं. तो स्टूडेंट्स, वी हैव डिस्कस सेकंड लीडरशिप स्टाइल, दैट इज डेमोक्रेटिक लीडरशिप स्टाइल. नाउ थर्ड, दैट इज laissez-faire. Laissez-faire, or it is also called as free rein. Free rein, REIN. Laissez-faire, LAISSEZ. Laissez-faire or free rein leadership style. This is the last leadership style, laissez-faire or free rein leadership style. So we will also use a diagram to explain this style. See, there are 4 subordinates, A, B, C, D, and communication is free flow between all the subordinates. And here is the leader L. See, here is the leader. So he has no contract, he has no communication with his subordinates. He is free from any workload. Here free rein means leader is free. This is laissez-faire leadership style, where all the authorities, all the powers are assigned by the leader to the subordinates. They take their own decisions, they do the work in their own way, they maintain their own discipline, they supervise themselves. Manager is just provide the facilities, materials, equipments, and only in case of need he can be consulted, otherwise no need. So this type of leadership style is totally based on decentralization, when all the authorities and powers are assigned to the subordinates. In this situation, the leader has a very little role to play. Only in case of adverse conditions he interfere. Otherwise, he left everything on the subordinates. The subordinates will do everything. They do the work, they make discipline, they keep supervision. Everything is done by the subordinates. Okay, so this is laissez-faire or free rein leadership style. So we will discuss its features. First feature is full faith in subordinates. In laissez-faire leadership style, the manager has full faith in his subordinates. That's why he feels free. He is not taking any burden. He knows that the followers, the subordinates are competent, they are educated, they can take better decisions because of full faith. Second feature is independent decision making system. Decision making system. So in this leadership style, the juniors, the subordinates always take their decisions in own. A manager does not take any decision. वो उन पर कोई decision थोपता नहीं है. मैनेजर ने कहा वो करेंगे. They are free. They take their own decisions and also implement them. So here decision making authority is independence. They are not feel any pressure from the manager, from the leader. Next is decentralization of authority. Decentralization of authority. So in free rein leadership style, the authorities, the powers are decentralized up to lower level. जितने भी lower level तक के subordinates हैं, whether they are departmental heads, deputy departmental heads, superintendents, supervisors, foremen, every person is having the powers. The person who is responsible for the job are having the authorities. And self-directed, supervisory and controlled. Self-directed, supervisory and controlled. So free rein leadership style is self-directed. Self-directed का मतलब ये है, the juniors, the subordinates need not to get any directions, any instruction from the superiors. They are self-directed. They take their own decisions. They do work in their own way. They need not to require any directions from the management. Second is self-supervisory. In this style, there is no need of any supervision because the subordinates are competent, they are educated, they have the responsibility, they have the feeling of responsibility. So no need of supervision and self-control. There is also no need to control them. They are self-controlled. And these are the features. Now advantages. Next topic is advantages of laissez-faire leadership style. Advantages. The first is development of self-confidence in subordinates. In this leadership style, the subordinates are given more freedom. They are given more powers. They take their own decisions. That is the reason they have self-confidence. They knows that in case of adverse result, they will be responsible. They will be asked. So when all such powers, authorities are provided to them, it will increase their moral boost up. It will increase their confidence. Second is higher level motivation. In a situation when more powers are given, more freedom is given, they need not to ask from the seniors. They need not to ask from the managers. Definitely it will increase their motivation level, because in the functioning of subordinates, no interference is done by the manager. They are doing the job in their own way. Managers के तरफ से कोई pressure नहीं है, interference नहीं है, तो definitely motivation level will be high. And one more advantage is helpful in development and extension of enterprise. Helpful in development and extension of enterprise. When employees are educated, they are self-confidence, their motivation level is high, their morale is high, it will increase their confidence. Definitely their efficiency will be increased, and when the efficiency of employees are high, definitely an enterprise will grow. क्योंकि जो एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं वो सारे जिम्मेदारी से काम करेंगे. दे विल वर्क विद मोर डेडिकेशन, मोर एंथुजियाज्म. व्हेन एम्प्लॉयज़ आर डेडिकेटेड, तो नो वन कैन स्टॉप द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ दैट इंटरप्राइज. तो बिजनेस कैन बी एक्सटेंडेड ऑल्सो. तो दीज आर द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ लजीज फेयर लीडरशिप स्टाइल. एंड लास्ट टॉपिक इज डिसएडवांटेजेस. So disadvantages, first point is difficulty in cooperation. When work is done by different people, the functioning of one person is depend on the other also. Where the work of a one person completes, the work of another person will start. If a particular individual, particular person is not doing his job properly, definitely it will affect the functioning of others also. So because of lack of clear-cut instructions, there may be some problem in creating cooperation. तो कई बार क्योंकि जो मैनेजर्स की तरफ से कोई इंस्ट्रक्शंस नहीं आती, ऑल आर डूइंग फ्रीली इन देयर ओन वे, तो सम टाइम इट हैपन्स दैट प्रॉब्लम इज अराइजेस रिगार्डिंग कोऑपरेशन. पीपल, द पर्सन्स हु आर डूइंग डिफरेंट जॉब्स, दे डू नॉट कोऑपरेट विद अदर्स बिकॉज ऑल आर बिजी इन डूइंग देयर ओन वर्क. एंड लैक ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मैनेजरियल पोस्ट. सेकेंड, managerial post. See in the diagram, students, this is Laziz Fair leadership style, and you can see the importance of the leader. Work is done by the subordinates, they are communicating, they are instructing to each other, and the leader is outside this diagram. So you can see how much importance is given to the manager. because everything is assigned to the subordinates, they take their own decisions, they even do not consult with the managers, so it will decreases the importance to the post of manager, क्योंकि मैनेजर को कोई पूछता नहीं है, they work in their own way. और last is suitable for highly educated employees. Third is highly educated employees. Another limitation of laissez-faire leadership style is that such kind of style can be adopted only when the employees are highly educated. They take their responsibility, they knows everything, they are perfect. They can take better decisions. Only in such situation this style can be adopted. If the subordinates, if the employees are less educated, illiterate persons, this style cannot be adopted. So these are the limitations. So dear students, we have completed this chapter. Leadership, we have discussed the meaning of leadership, features, then 3 leadership styles. So this much about this chapter. So in this 7th unit, one more chapter is left, that is communication. So in next video lecture, we will study the chapter of communication. Till then, goodbye students, have a nice day.